Hey y'all, Michelle here, and welcome back to My Designs in the Chaos. Today, we're going to be learning how to do a larger than mat project on your cutting machine. Let's go ahead and let's dive in. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and let me show you how to get your design that's larger than your mat ready for you to cut it on the mat size that you need. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upload the image. I'm going to go right here and I'm just going to click on Browse, and I'm going to locate the image that I want. And I'm going to use this initial. And I'm going to select it and I'm going to click Insert Image. So here it is right here on my screen. Okay. Now the next thing that I want to do here is I'm going to actually draw out a circle that is the shape, the size of the wooden round that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to actually be using one that's about 20 inches. So actually we'll do, it should be about 21 inches. Okay. And then I'm going to change the color of this to be kind of like a light color to remind me of like a wood. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take that design that I just imported. I'm going to send this circle to the back so I can see the design. And I'm going to use that wooden round, that faux wooden round, that's what that circle is, to kind of size out how big do I want my design to go. Okay, where do I want it to fit? How far away from the edge? And I'm just kind of using that as a guideline here. Once I have it where I want it, I'm going to go right here to align, and I'm going to make sure that it's centered horizontally and that it's centered vertically. So that way I know it's exactly in the middle. Okay, so this is what I want my final project to look like. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to upload some or create these little registration marks. Now, when I say registration marks, that's because we're going to be cutting this on two separate pieces. Now, you might need to cut yours on 3 separate pieces or 4 separate pieces, depending on how big your project is. But for this example, we're just going to be using 2 separate pieces. And so I'm going to put one of these circles right up here at the top, and then I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it right down here and put it right down here at the bottom. Okay, so I need one of these both at the top and the bottom, because once it's cut, these circles are what I'm going to use to be able to make sure it's exactly in line. So again, I'm going to select everything. I'm going to go to align. I'm going to make sure it's centered in the middle. So what we need to do is we actually need to slice out this design from that circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the design. I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm going to select the circle. I'm going to right click. Hang on, this design is 2 elements here, and so we need to weld this before this will work, because here in Cricut Design Space, you can only slice with 2 things selected. So I'm just going to click on weld. So that bee and that wreath are now over here, they're one item. So I'm going to click on that bee and that wreath. I'm going to hold down Shift, and then I'm going to select the circle that's in the back. I've got 2 items selected, so that slice option comes up, and I'm going to click on slice. And then I'm going to go over here and I can delete that B because I don't need it anymore. This slice result, I can actually just delete. I don't need that anymore. Okay. And then I'm going to go right here and I'm going to send it to the back so that I can see I need to slice out these 2 registration marks as well. So I'm going to select the circle, I'm going to select the registration mark, and I'm going to say slice. And then you can see over here on your layers panel, I'm going to select that little circle. I can delete that because I don't need it. And then that inside circle, I don't need that as well, so I can delete that too. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. I'm going to send it to the back. I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to select both items. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say slice. And then from here, I can delete that circle and I can delete the sliced result. So now I'm at a point where I can actually manipulate this to be able to cut on my mat the way that I need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here to Shapes, and I'm going to click on Square, and I'm going to make this square be the size of my cutting mat. So the width is going to be 12. I'm actually going to make it 11.5 since my Cricut will not cut bigger than 11.5. So I need to make sure that my image fits on that size of a mat. And then I'm going to unlock this button and I'm going to make the height of it 24 or 23.5 because I believe it's the same thing. It has like a half an inch or a quarter of an inch all the way around. Okay, so I have my faux cutting mat here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over here to my design. I'm going to send it to the back. And then I'm just going to kind of line this up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is I need to have 2 of these rounds. So I'm just going to copy and paste a second one over here so that I can use it in a second. And I'm going to have 2 of these rectangles. So I'm just going to hold that one over here on this side. Okay, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to select this one and select that one, and I'm going to slice. And then I can get rid of all this, the extra stuff like this sliced result. I don't need the outside, and I don't need this side of, I don't need this part anymore. And I only need one of those. Okay, and so this is the part that my machine is actually going to cut. And then on this side, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to send it to the back. And the only thing I just need to make sure about is, are these 2 circles also on this part of the cut? Because what's going to happen is when I go to cut this out, this circle and this circle is what I'm going to use to be able to make sure it's all lined up. So I need to make sure that those 2 are lined up on here. And then I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to click on slice. And then I can delete all the rest of this stuff. This one I don't need. This part I don't need. And now these are my 2 different elements, and see how I'm just going to line these 2 up exactly whenever I put it on my project. And so now I've got 2 items that are the size for my mat. I can click on make it. They will each go to their own cutting mat, and I will be able to cut it from there. And at this point, once we've clicked on make it, you're going to get this message that says at least one of your images is larger than 11.5 inches in height or width. And that's because we're using a 12 by 24 cutting mat. So yes, it's absolutely larger than the 11.5. So it says just click OK to go with your larger mat, and then that way you can use your larger mat to be able to continue to send it to your machine. Okay, so don't worry if you get that message. It's because we're using a larger cutting mat. And then if you need to adjust it or put it in the middle or something like that, you can do that here as well. Okay, and if you need to, you can always do 3 sections to make them even smaller. And in that case, you would just do like a circle here, and then a circle in the middle, and then a circle on the side. You're going to use the exact same technique to put those circles on there so that you can cut it and then line it up so that they fit exactly. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you back next time. Bye. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to subscribe below and hit the bell so you can be notified on our next weekly video. See you soon, guys. Bye.